Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Leader of Opposition, Honorable Members of the House, and the viewers watching the parliamentary proceedings from the comfort of their homes. A very good evening, Nisambula, Namaste, and Assalamu alaikum. At the outset, Mr. Speaker, sir, I commend the Honorable Attorney General and the Minister for Economy and his vibrant team for the formulation of a very well thought of and a very well considered 2019-2020 national budget. Mr. Speaker, sir, it's pleasing to note the very positive responses from a number of institutions, organizations, and individuals. In fact, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm very impressed with the way the Fiji Institute of Accountants have analyzed this budget. I quote, "This is a future-looking budget that builds on the unprecedented economic growth of the Fijian economy and ensures resilient progress in a changing climate and a changing environment for both local and global markets. The budget is based on the 5 pillars as the key areas of focus: strengthening law and order, protecting the natural environment, empowering the young, spurring technology and innovation, and building certainty in an uncertain world. These 5 pillars will be the driving factors through which the Fijians will be benefiting now in the short term and also in the long term. The budget considers the bigger picture for every Fijian when we look into the details of these 5 pillars. We are going to move towards a more digitalized economy, a more greener and sustainable and progressive economic development," unquote. Mr. Speaker, sir, this very aptly summarizes the 2019-2020 budget. Mr. Speaker, sir, I just hope that the opposition can see the bigger picture and understand the short-term and the long-term benefits for our Fijian people. Mr. Speaker, sir, do we not want to see economic development and prosperity for all Fijians? Do we not want to have a government that is pro-poor? Do we not want to have a government that looks after the welfare and well-being of all Fijians? Do we not want to see a better and brighter future for our children and generations to come? Do we not want stability? The answer is absolutely yes, Mr. Speaker, say yes. The Fiji First government has the vision to improve the social and economic status of our country and our people. But Mr. Speaker, so unfortunately, the opposition does not seem to share this vision. Or I must say they do not at all have a vision of building certainty in an uncertain way. Such vision, Mr. Speaker, sir, such vision and stance can only be taken by a visionary leader, our Prime Minister, Honorable Josiah Borengebainmala. Mr. Speaker, sir, the budget that is before us will ensure the continuity and strengthening of this vision. Mr. Speaker, sir, opposition leader in his address said that this budget reflects the leadership. Of course, Mr. Speaker, sir, it reflects the leadership. We have a leader who defines humility, a leader who believes in equality and inclusivity, a leader who is assertive and bold, a leader who walks the talk, a leader who inspires, a leader who is willing to take risks, a leader who puts family first, a leader who puts Fiji first, a leader who we can trust, a leader who believes in a stable Fiji, a stronger Fiji, a progressive and empowered Fiji, a modern Fiji, a digital Fiji, and a greener Fiji, a man of vision, a man of actions, and a man of results. Yes, Mr. Speaker, this budget does reflect the great leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, sir, Fiji does not and cannot influence or contribute to the current global economic slowdown. In fact, Fiji and other small and developing economies will be on the receiving end. Therefore, our budget and economic policies need to be forward-thinking that is able to absorb such shocks that happen at global level. But again, Mr. Speaker, sir, the opposition will never understand this. In fact, one of my friends from the other side of their house told me that being in the opposition, their job is to oppose. Oppose for the sake of opposing, Mr. Speaker? I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them. But at what expense, Mr. Speaker? What expense? At the expense of forgetting the right and the wrong? At the expense of causing damage to the Fijian economy? Alluding to what the Honorable Prime Minister earlier said, that hammering lies after lies after lies, that people actually start believing in those lies. And that is what is damaging, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is really damaging. But who will be at the receiving end? Our people? People who have voted for us and them as well. Again, Mr. Speaker, they will never understand. Mr. Speaker, sir, looking at the 2019-2020 budget allocated to the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation, our ministry has gained several increases in the allocated budget in the past 2 years, and we are very happy that we have been provided with adequate allocations for the 2019-2020 fiscal year as well. Mr. Speaker, sir, we will have an opportunity later today to hear from the Minister herself, as we have plans and related strategies in place to better our existing programs and implement new ones. Mr. Speaker, sir, in my capacity as Assistant Minister, I have been entrusted with the responsibility of progressing programs related to persons living with disabilities in Fiji. And the 2019-2020 budget will continue to cater for the needs of this vulnerable population of our nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish for all members of this august Parliament to note that our Fijians with special abilities are equally entitled to constitutional equality and human rights. And we are here as leaders of this country to ensure that they are not left behind while we take Fiji forward. Mr. Speaker, sir, in fact, it is the Fiji First government that really changed the game in terms of the welfare and equal treatment of Fijians living with disabilities. According to the 2018 census report, 13.7% of our population aged 3 and above have at least one functioning challenge. Perceptively, this government has at its forefront prioritized the well-being and protection of our differently abled Fijians. In lieu to this, I, on behalf of the Ministry, most proudly acknowledge and welcome the following announcements made by the Honourable Minister of Economy, which will not only empower the development of disability services, but also promote inclusivity and a platform of equal opportunity for disabled persons. Fiji National Council for Disabled Persons, FNCDP, advocates the interests of persons living with disabilities through funding of the FNCDP, the national coordinating body of 71 disability development initiatives in Fiji, has been allocated $500,000. Grants to Disabled People's Organization supports various activities undertaken by disability organizations that complement the work of government and the FNCDP. Organizations can submit proposals to the Ministry to access grant funding. A total of $400,000 has been allocated for the DPOs. Capital grants to voluntary organizations contributes to social justice and poverty alleviation by supporting NGOs that complement the work of government. This is an effective way for the Ministry to capitalize on the expertise and capacity of NGOs in advancing its critical missions, specifically the care and protection of children and of the disadvantaged in society. A total of $200,000 allocation for this initiative. Monthly social protection allowance, or better known as disability allowance, of $90 a month under the allocation of $5 million. Western Disability Center will serve the needs of persons living with disability in the Western Division by providing specialized services and support will receive $850,000. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Honourable Minister for Economy had also announced that $300,000 would be allocated within the bus fare subsidy allocation to help assist caregivers, guardians and parents who accompany elderly citizens and adults and children with disabilities for needful travel such as medical checks, going to school, etc. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a very welcome move because never before has any government conceded the financial needs of caregivers of the elderly and disabled. Caring for someone can be hard work and takes up a lot of time. It may change one's relationship with the person they are caring for, as well as limit their freedom and spontaneity. Caring for someone most definitely affects work and education opportunities. Mr. Speaker, sir, it can also be expensive and with low or no income opportunities for these carers. It takes a caring government, Mr. Speaker, sir, to take such issues into consideration and provide relief. We are proud to be part of a government that does just that. We at the Ministry will set clear criteria to ensure that case-by-case assessment is done and the most genuine cases are assisted. Mr. Speaker, sir, at this point, I wish to also mention that the REACH project is also a key player in taking services to those who cannot come to us, and we thank the Fijian government for a budget reallocation of $300,000 for the administration of the REACH project as well. This phenomenal outreach program is especially useful for persons living with disabilities in rural communities. Mr. Speaker, sir, they say the human spirit is one of ability, perseverance, and courage that no disability can steal away. It is with this acceptance and strive for inclusive development for all Fijians that the Fijian government has been moving forward in terms of policies, laws, and programs. We aim to ensure that the development of Fiji does not miss out on the resourcefulness and potential economic participation of any Fijian. We are also adamant that the care and welfare of any Fijian living with disabilities be given equal importance as any other citizen of our country. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry for Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation is at its best time to look after the welfare of Fijians living with disabilities. We are equipped and we are ready to take on the new projects and bigger programs meant to assist people living with disabilities by alleviating poverty and discrimination. We will reach out to Fijians living with disabilities at the community levels to the best of our capacity and to ensure no one who qualifies for the assistance misses out on it. Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Attorney General and the Minister for Economy in his budget address said, I quote, "The quality of Fiji's tomorrow will be determined by the pride, the unity, and the patriotism we demonstrate today." Unquote. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is so much of wisdom, so much passion, so much of hope, so much of determination to see Fiji grow in every sector at every level. An inclusive Fiji, an educated Fiji, a healthy Fiji, a greener Fiji, an empowered Fiji, a digital Fiji, and a smart Fiji, and so on. To achieve this, Mr. Speaker, sir, we need every Fijian to take ownership. With this, Mr. Speaker, sir, I register my full support to the 2019-2020 budget, and I also, urge the members of the opposition, please take your boom boxes home. It will help clean your dirty linens. Thank you.